good evening. Hello, everyone, and welcome to the British Library for this very special Inspiring Entrepreneurs event to celebrate International Women's Day today. My name's Mahoney, and I'm the Business Programmes Manager at the Library. The Business and IP Centre really exists to support people from all walks of life to start, to protect and to grow really successful businesses. Who's been in before to the centre? Show of hands? Quite a lot of you. Fantastic. If you've not been in to use the centre before, really it works by pairing what's the UK's biggest and most valuable collection of business data, intellectual property resources and market research intelligence with workshops, with training, with events such as this tonight, with networking and with one-to-one advice sessions to give people from diverse backgrounds all of the skills that they need to start and grow really successful enterprises. We are really thrilled to be hosting this event tonight, particularly because we're incredibly proud of the very high number of women who use our centre. Whilst you wouldn't know it from looking around the room tonight, still less than 20% of UK businesses are majority women-owned, and that's just not good enough. At the Business and IP Centre, however, over 60% of our users, right across the board consistently, are women, and over 40% of our users are from Black, Asian or minority ethnic backgrounds. And that's something that's reflected not just here in London, but we manage that diverse user base right the way across the country in all of our other network centres in various cities around the UK. So it means that we're really helping to redress the balance of business in this country, and I think that's one of the greatest achievements of the centre so far. Today's been a really busy day for the whole team. As you've probably noticed, there are some changes to our lineup this evening, so it's been a little bit frantic at points. But today has also been really positive and encouraging, and it's been thrilling, particularly with times being as they are, to look at the media and look online and look at our social accounts and see so much support and encouragement for women in business being shared and so much positivity focusing on female entrepreneurs. Whenever we do events, in fact, that focuses on women in business, I'm always incredibly struck by the generosity with which women are able to share their stories and to tell their story in an authentic way, and in a way that means somebody else can take that information and use it and learn from it. And with that in mind, I'd say tonight, as well as all of the incredible insight and experience and expertise that you'll pick up on from our awesome panel, do stay for the networking event afterwards, talk to each other and connect with each other and learn about each other, because there's an incredible richness to be had at these sorts of events from that too. There's great work being done right across the British Library that focuses on women, of course, not just in the business collections. And with that in mind, I'd like to introduce my colleague, Polly Russell, to the stage. Colleague is the Curator of Contemporary Politics and Public Life, I think that's right, here at the Library. And she's going to talk to you today about a new project, the Business of Women's Words, and how you can potentially get involved with it. So, Polly, if I can invite you up. But have a great time at the event, and I'll see you at the networking afterwards.
Thank you very much. I'll just take 1 or 2 minutes. It's wonderful to be here at a BIPC event on International Women's Day, and what a fantastic event it's going to be. I work as a curator at the library, and we've just started, really just started in the last couple of weeks, a new research project called the Business of Women's Words. And this project is in partnership with Sussex University and Cambridge University, and it will run for 3 years. And what we're trying to do is to think about women feminist entrepreneurs in the 1970s and the 1980s. And we're focusing this research around 2 case studies. One, the magazine Spare Rib, which was a wonderful and very sort of revealing magazine about the women's liberation movement, and in a sense kind of charted its rise and demise, but no longer exists. And also Virago Press, which of course is still flourishing as a business. So we're using these as case studies to try and understand this history and to try and think about women and feminists and entrepreneurial work in that period. And we're very keen to connect that history with the contemporary and to make links with the sort of work that is going on now, the sorts of things that you are involved with. And this is the very beginning of our project, but we'd like to sort of put a marker down with you all to say that we are here. We'd love to talk to you over the coming years. We want to do more events with BIPC, and that the research project team are here today, happy to speak to people after in the networking event. My email address is up there if anybody would like to get in contact with me about the project to find out more, and just please keep an eye and an ear open for the Business of Women's Words. Now onto our main event, I'd like to introduce our chair for this evening, who is Nadine Dereza. Nadine is a highly experienced international business presenter and has worked for many broadcasters, including CNN and Sky TV. During her time at the Financial Times, she was awarded Financial Journalist of the Year. She currently works for CNBC, presenting their programmes on powering the digital economy. Please welcome Nadine Dereza.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Polly, and fascinating to hear about your project as well, so very good luck with that, and do get in contact with Polly. Well, good evening, everybody, and a happy International Women's Day. As part of this very special day, we're doing a special edition of Inspiring Entrepreneurs, and very rarely do I share a platform with only women, which is a huge change. I've been doing this job for 30 years, so it's a real pleasure to be in this position tonight. But as much as I like working with my male colleagues, this is a very special day for women. Although the males in the audience, I'm delighted that you're here as well. And I'm sharing a platform with 4 very inspiring entrepreneurs. And the idea of tonight is that we're going to be listening to their stories. And along the way, I'm sure you'll get some ideas, some insights, some tips, so you inspire this generation of women and maybe the next generation as well. Now, we have the live audience here in London. Thank you very much for coming along tonight and sharing your evening with us. But it'd be remiss of me not to mention 8 other libraries, city libraries, that are joining us around the country. And I know they love to hear their name mentioned, so bear with me as I do this. So let's say hello to Cambridge, Exeter, Hull, Glasgow, Liverpool, Manchester, Northamptonshire and Worcester. So let's all say hello. Hello! There you go, and I think they're saying hello back. And also a warm welcome to the viewers in the UK and around the world watching the programme as well. Now, wherever you're watching, whether you're in the live audience or you're in Australia, Austria, Glasgow, wherever, then please do send your questions in. I am taking questions live from the audience here, but you can tweet your questions, and we've got a couple of hashtags I'd like you to use, please, if you don't mind. Obviously, the all-important handle is at BIPC, and then the hashtag to use is BIPC Women Mean Business, and also we're including the hashtag IWD 2018. But when I went on the International Women's Day website earlier, I noticed that they wanted us to use the Press for Progress, so for that gender equality that they're really pushing this year. So I think we need to use that hashtag as well. So I hope you're not hashtagged out. It's Press for Progress as well, and it'd be great if we can trend on Twitter as we have done so in the past. We have Jeremy, who's in the front. Hello, Jeremy. And I know you're going to be monitoring all the tweets, so I will be going to Jeremy from time to time. So whatever catches your eye, try and get a spread from around the UK and the world, Jeremy, if you don't mind. So I have 4 amazing speakers with me, and delighted to say that I've got Foluke Akinlose, who's MB. She's founder of the Precious Awards and Network celebrating women of colour in the UK. Sitting alongside her is Dessi Bell, who's co-founder of Zaggora Hotpants and Fitness Wear. And it always gets a smile, doesn't it, Hotpants? But you're not wearing them tonight.
No, not tonight, but I do wear them every time I work out. So.
Okay, fine. And then joined by Natasha or Tash Courtney Smith, who's founder of Bolt Digital and also a best-selling author. And then on my far right, your left, is Joy Foster, who's founder of Tech Pixies. So this is your lineup. Let's give them a warm welcome to begin with. Now, the idea is they've all been tasked with giving about a 5-minute overview of their business and a few tips and ideas, secrets of their success as well along the way. And then I'm going to ask them a couple of questions each, and we're going to carry that through that theme until we've done all 4 panellists, and then I'm going to open up to the floor. So my first guest, I'm delighted to say, someone I know very, very well indeed, is Foluke Akinlose. And I know her so well that I always worry that I've pronounced the name incorrectly. Did I get it correct?
Well, absolutely correct.
Oh, phew, that's a relief. And what's very interesting is that Foluke launched Precious online, which is a magazine, but also the awards, which have been going for, is it 11, 12 years now?
Yeah.
12 years. And celebrating, putting a spotlight for women in colour. Because if you think women who are not of colour, of my colour, have had it tough, then women of colour have had it tougher, haven't they, in many ways, particularly being marginalised in the media and other businesses. So what you've done over the years to shine that spotlight on people has been incredibly impressive. And I know succession after succession of British Prime Ministers and politicians from all walks of life have always congratulated on that, so much so that you're an MBE. So for Luke, I know. She loves doing these kind of things. The floor is yours.
Thank you very much, Nadine. Welcome, everybody. It's a great pleasure to be here tonight. I also want to say welcome to my nieces who are here supporting me over there. So you have to forgive my notes, because even though I've been in business for about 12, 14 years, I don't really talk on stage about my story, so I have to have pointers to remind me. So do forgive me for that. I want to start by saying thank you for coming tonight. It's a real honour to be on this panel with all these great women, and of course Nadine.
I'll take that in the right way.
Absolutely. I just want to start telling you a little bit about my story, really. So I grew up in Manchester, and I used to love magazines like Just 17, Blue Jeans, Jackie. I'm sort of giving away my age a little bit here, but they were like my Bibles. I was obsessed by them. I spent a lot of my pocket money on them as well. But when I grew older, I realised there was nobody in the magazines looked anything like me. There was no black girls, there's no brown girls. We didn't talk about black hair and makeup. We didn't talk about anything to do with black women, black success stories, anything like that. So I thought it was a little bit like little girls of colour were invisible. So I thought when I get older, I'm going to launch my magazine. And basically that's what I did. I used to read a lot of American magazines like Ebony, I don't know if you've heard of those, Essence magazine. And they were fantastic, but I wanted to read about the Black British experience, which is very unique. And it's really my story. So, I wasn't born in New York, I was born in Stratford, Manchester. So I wanted to read about people who were a lot like me. So by the age of 13, I decided that's what I want to do when I get older. I'm going to launch my magazine. So when I was 14 years old, I actually launched a magazine in my school, but it actually got banned. But that's a totally different and very, very long story. So when I was 18 years old, I moved to London. I came here to be chambermaid for all the summer. I just stayed, I just hung around. I did lots of different jobs. I worked in a pub. I washed up pots in a wine bar in the city. I was chambermaid for a while, worked in a betting shop. But all the time I had this idea in the back of my head that I was going to launch this magazine for women of colour. I was going to do it, it was my passion, it had to be done. But I knew I didn't have the means to set up a magazine. I came from a pretty working class family in Manchester. We didn't really have that much money, so that was an option for me. So to cut a long story short, I started working at ITN News in Gray's Inn Road. And it was really funny that when I was there at that time, there was only 2 black people in the building. One of them was me, and the other one was Trevor McDonald. So, seriously. Apart from the canteen, that was what it was like. So we used to see each other in the corridor and just nod at each other So I was at ITM for a while, and part of my job was doing lots of research online. So I found all these great magazines for women of colour in the States. I thought, oh wow, maybe I could do this. This could be my way in to launch Precious. I already knew what it was going to be called, by the way. So this was the days of dial-up